Okay, I'm gonna just open up us in a word of prayer, and then you could rock and roll whenever you're ready. So God, we just thank you. We thank you for our space and our place in this time, God. We thank you right now for the opportunity and the wisdom and knowledge that you would have given amongst us so that we can share with one another, so that we can move and not just on our own accord, but with the kingdom, Father God, understanding that we have a kingdom assignment to ensure that the kingdom of God is at hand in the earth. And we have the finances to do just what it is that we need to do in the earth, Father God, be it for your people, be it for those that need help, be it for ourselves, God, and our generations to come, Lord. We pray right now that you will help us to steward what it is that we learn, see what it is that we acquire, and steward what we, when the people that we meet, Father God, with love and genuine concern. We thank you right now for Nichole and the knowledge she is about to share. We thank you for every woman and business represented here. God, we pray right now for overflow and abundance as we implement what it is that we learn. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Hey, man, that was amazing. And I love that. So the business that I started, God gave me the vision, right? And so I love that you opened up with prayer because through him we can accomplish all things. So I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. I teach 3 different topics. So I was asking Avery which topic does she think resonates most with her community. The 3 topics that I teach is the art of the pivot, which is I was on Wall Street for 21 years and now I'm a full-time entrepreneur. And so many people have questions on how to get a business started. When is the right time to leave? How do you become successful in a business, right? Very quickly. And the other one I teach is the power of networking, which is the one I'll be teaching you guys tonight. I have a vast network and I give people tips on how to grow their network to turn it into profits. And the other one I teach, which is a newer one, but it's corporate sponsorship. So a lot of people put on events. How do we get those corporations to back us, to give us money to get our events flown, get our events, help pay for the events? This one tonight is the power of networking. So you guys are in for a treat. This is my big expertise. I've been connecting people for years. So this is going to be fun and informative. So please provide comments and ask questions as I go along. I'll leave time for a lot of questions at the end, but if you have something as I'm going through the presentation, please let me know. Okay, so let's get started. In this presentation, we're going to talk about me being the master connector, networking keys, networking mistakes, identifying and monetizing your gift, tips from my book. So I'm an author. I wrote the book on The Master Connector, the ultimate guide to building impactful connections for life and business success. Also, we're talking about how to build your personal brand, networking facts, your elevator pitch, and I'll give you guys a bonus on how to get corporate sponsors. And then I'll take more Q&A at the end. So, all right, so let's get started. But before we get started, I see it's about 8 of us in here, right? Before I tell you who I am, you can see it on the screen and I'll go through each one, but can you guys each tell me who you are, your name, your name, your profession, and one fun fact about you in 1 minute, because I want to get to everybody and I want to keep this all concise. But if we can just come off mute and just say your name, where you're located, and your profession, and one fun fact in a minute, we can start that really quickly.
My name is Avery. I'm in Rochester, New York. I'm a CPA. Fun fact about me is I did that CPA in 5 months while working full time and pursuing my MBA full time.
Awesome. You kept it under 1 minute. Good job, Avery. Ravel, you're next on my screen. Do you want to go?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ravel Eden Miller. It's the last name. I still work in corporate right now, but I also am a nail technician, and I'm also taking my instructor's course now. I'm also a crafter, but yeah, I live in Nassau, Bahamas.
Oh, wow.
And
International group over here, Nassau, Bahamas. You say you're a crafter?
yes, I'm also a crafter. So I do
Okay.
sublimation.
Okay, awesome. Lalisha, is that right? I don't want to say it wrong.
Yes, hi. I am Lalisha Eris. I'm driving, so it's a little loud, but yes, I'm Lalisha Eris. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I'm from Queens, New York. I'm currently in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. Fun fact about me, I like to dance.
Awesome. All right. I see Miller. I think this is I can't see. Things cough a little bit. Is it Miller?
Yeah, Tia Miller.
Good day, all. Oh, you see my name? Okay, awesome. So my name is Tia Miller. I am a mom of three amazing kids. That's my fun fact, just me being a mom and a wife of my amazing husband also. Fun facts. So I am employed full time, but I'm also an entrepreneur. I provide makeup services, esthetician services, also virtual administrative services.
Okay, and where are you located?
Sorry, I am located in Nassau, Bahamas.
Oh, nice. Okay, awesome. All right, Renelle. Renelle, can you hear us? Renelle Brooks.
Yeah, sorry, my microphone. Hi, I'm Renelle Brooks, and I am from California. I'm a strategic planner strategic planner consultant. And fun fact about me is I love all things creative. So painting, ceramics, all of those things I like to do.
Awesome. Lamisha?
Hey y'all, hey. I am Lamisha Conley. I'm a business midwife, so I help entrepreneurs birth the vision that's inside of them. And I'm from I'm living now, I've been here for some time in Columbus, Ohio. Born in Atlanta, but we moved when I was younger. And so graduated school here and everything. Um, Fun fact about me is I'm actually into all things skincare. And so at one point I thought I would become an esthetician, but that didn't happen. And so I still love all those things. And so yeah.
Thank you. Awesome. I never heard one say a business midwife, so that's a new terminology you just taught me tonight. Georgette Brown?
Hi, everyone. I'm Georgette Brown. I am a licensed insurance advisor or insurance salesperson. I also have my own business. I'm an entrepreneur. I do baby essentials, baby clothing. I also have a organization. I'm the founder of Women Empowerment Movement, where we are built on encouraging women to walk after their God-given purpose. So that's me.
And you're
From
located where?
Nassau, Bahamas.
Oh, okay. Avery must be from Bahamas because you guys are deep in here. All right. Thank you for everybody. And did you give me a fun
Yes, I am.
fact? Georgette, did you give me a fun fact?
Child, I did not. I did not. Fun fact, I'm a mom of one.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. So I got to get to know who you guys are and some fun facts about you. So I am from New Jersey, specifically. I was born in Newark, New Jersey, and grew up in New Jersey my whole life. Well, until went off to college at Virginia Union University. I graduated from an HBCU. I hold a master's degree in business. I've been on Wall Street for over 20 years, 21 years to be exact. I'm an author of this book that you see here that I just mentioned earlier. I've traveled to over 40 countries, 46 countries to be exact. I just got back from Tokyo and Korea last month. I became the CEO of the Master Connector Agency in 2024. I love helping my community. I just love sharing information to get everybody to the next level or just giving you information that's going to help you grow and scale you and your business. Fun fact about me is that I secured a 5-figure sponsorship from Amazon and Puma within the first 6 months of launching my business. All right. So let's get into this next slide. I've been connecting people for free for over 20 years. Like a lot, like it just comes natural to me. That's one of the gifts that God gave me is you need something. I can think in less than 10 seconds on who I can connect you to get what you need. And I was doing it for free for a long time. It wasn't until last year that I was able to launch a business and actually monetize the gifts of connection. I've been fortunate enough to be featured in some pretty cool publications. So Portia, as you see at the bottom left, is a local news channel here. I've been in the Los Angeles Tribune magazine, and I've also been on Angela Yee's Way Up radio station, which is a nationally syndicated radio show here in the United States. So I've been facilitating connections for free, like I said, for over 20 plus years. It wasn't until last year with this picture that you see here. I'm not sure if you're familiar with either anybody on the screen, but Dr. Eric Thomas on the left is the #1 motivational speaker in the world. He gets paid 6 figures to show up and talk to you and motivate you. Yandy Smith Harris is one of my friends on the right. She is she's on TV for a TV show, but she's also made millions of dollars in the skincare line. So I know both of them. And the story I'm going to tell you about this is when Dr. Eric Thomas reached out to me because he was doing a conference and he said, "Hey Nichole, I know you know a ton of great people. I'm looking for some women speakers to speak at my conference." And I reached out to 3 to 4 high-profile multimillionaire women that I thought would be a great fit for his conference. Everybody said yes, I would love to speak. I would love to be a part of this conference. And I was getting everybody's pricing, like how much they charge to speak at the place, so I can tell ET, this is what you need to pay these high-profile women. Out of everybody, so when I was getting the deals done, I'm getting their pricing, I'm telling ET, Yandy says, so what's your fee? So I told y'all I've been connecting people for free my whole life. And because I had a Wall Street nice cushy job, I never even thought to charge for my connections. So Yandy says, what is your fee? And I said, wait, what do you mean? I'm gonna, you're gonna get paid to speak at this event. She said, if I get $1, you get a percentage of that because you got me this deal. I would not have received this opportunity unless you connected me to it, right? So a light bulb went off like, oh, you're gonna pay me? And the interesting thing about that is out of all 3 women that I got books, because everybody got 5-figure checks, I was the closest with Yandy, so I wouldn't have charged her out of everybody. But she was my friend and said, no, you're bringing value to me. You should be paid for your connections. So I asked her, what do people charge? And she said anywhere between 5 to 20%, depending on what the deal is and what you're doing. And we negotiated a fee. So that was the first time that I actually got paid for my connections that I've been doing, like I said, for years for people. Oh, sorry, let me go back. So before I go to the next slide, can anyone come off mute and tell me what are some things that you think you should do to network successfully? I'll take 1 or 2 of you to tell me like, and I'm trying to keep all the answers in less than a minute because I don't want to go over time. But if anyone can come off mute and just tell me what do they think one key to networking successfully is?
Communication.
Okay, that's good. Lamisha, that's good. Anybody else?
Hey everybody. I would say do your research. Like who's gonna be there? Who all over there?
Okay, I like that
That's what
answer.
I'll offer.
Okay, thank you for those answers. So, the 3 top keys to networking: lead with value. That sets you apart from everybody else in the room. When you meet somebody, a lot of times I'm around a lot of high profile people. When people come up to them, they're always asking for things. Can you help me with this? Can I be a part of that? Can you promote my product on your page? No, you need to figure out what that person is doing and figure out how you can help them before you come with an ask, because they don't know us, right? So we don't want to come asking for favors from people that don't know us, because it's going to either one, turn them off, or they're just not going to help you. So you would set yourself apart by saying, oh, I like, let's take Yandy, for example. You have a skincare line. I would love to. People always ask for them to mentor them. They don't have the capacity to do that. I've been around Yandy so many times that people ask for the mentorship and she doesn't have the capacity. But what you can do is say, oh, you have a trade show coming up. Can I volunteer at your trade show? Oh, I see that you are in production. Is there any way that I can, when I learn about production, can I volunteer with you? Like offer services to help the other person before you come with an ask. The second key to networking is following up, right? So consistency builds trust. A lot of times we go to these big events or these conferences or a part of these different groups, we get a bunch of phone numbers and they stay in our wallet or our purses. We never do anything with them. So many connections, I want to say almost 70% of connections get lost in the follow-up because we meet people and say, oh, I would love to connect with you, and do nothing with it. The third important tip to networking is doing great work. Whenever we get the opportunity, if we do good business, that sells itself. If you have a great product, I know somebody on here said they have a skincare line. Somebody else on here says they love crafting, right? If you're doing an amazing job, they're going to tell people about you. They're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their family, oh, I went to this person and got this skincare line. Now my skin is glowing, right? And I'm going to say, well, what's that skincare line? Like, put me on. So the 3 top things to networking are leading with value, because that's going to set you apart, following up when you do get the opportunity to meet whoever you're meeting in these rooms, and do great work. Like, be prepared for when the opportunities do come. Before I go to the next slide, can someone tell me what are the biggest mistakes in networking? This is interactive, so come off, you just throw something out there.
Probably not having a way for people to connect back with you if you don't have that.
You say not having a way. Let me. I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. What did you say?
If you don't have a way for people to connect with you, if you just go in there with absolutely nothing and someone's wanting to connect and you have no website or phone number or anything.
In these days, I would hope everybody has a phone number, but yes, I hear what you're saying, not being prepared. Anybody else have any ideas on what are some don'ts for networking? One more person. Come on, brave soul. Somebody give me just a thought.
like the time and the place for it. Maybe you are trying to do a business connection at the wrong time, like a funeral or something. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you, Avery. All right. So 3 networking mistakes. It's literally the opposite of that page 1. Here is the first one: leading with an ask over offering being asking, right? So when you walk up to somebody and they don't know you, especially if they're high profile or in a high position, and you're asking them for things, again, you doing what the 90% of people do. Oh, you're on, like, anybody on TV, can you promote my product? Can you do this? Can you do that? Right? Like, when you leave with that ask, you automatically put yourself in the rest of the 90% of percentile of what everybody else is doing. So you, most likely, they may not help you or want to connect with you because, like, oh my God, here somebody goes again asking me for something versus adding that value. The same thing for the opposite is not following up in a timely manner. You want to follow up between 74 to 72 hours at the max, right? Because they meet a lot of people, they might forget who you were or where they met you. So you want to follow up within that first 24 hours, maybe 48, but no longer than 72 to connect with them. And when you do connect with them, say it was a pleasure meeting you at X, Y, and Z event, and say you would love to schedule time to connect with them either over Zoom, coffee, just like schedule a time to meet with them, right? Whether that's Zoom, a coffee chat, dinner, lunch. Dinner might be a lot for somebody that doesn't know us, but maybe you could do a quick Zoom or maybe a Starbucks coffee just to get to know the person a little bit better and figure out how you can work together. The last thing is poor service, right? So I mentioned that on the other side. When you do a good job, it speaks for itself. But when you do a bad job, word of mouth travels very fast, whether it's good or bad. So if you are giving somebody some skincare line and it's breaking them out, they're gonna say, girl, don't go over there because her skincare broke me out. Or don't go to them for crafting because it fell apart, right? So making sure when you get the opportunities that you're operating in excellence, because again, good news travels fast as well as bad news travels fast. So those are some keys to networking, right? What the do's and don'ts. All right. So I told y'all I made a whole business on just networking. I never thought when I launched my business that I can make a business without a product, because I always think that when somebody has a business, it's something that they're selling. But for me, it was my intellectual property. People were always calling my phone for things and connections and meeting people. So here in this picture, as you can see, I'm friends with all the women in this picture. So Yandy is a celebrity, Egypt Sharada is a celebrity, Cynthia Bailey is a celebrity, and the other women in this picture are corporate executives that are vice president level and above that had a seat at the table. And so the story behind this is when I met Egypt, I was in New Orleans for Essence Fest, and I have access to the Delta Lounge because you have to have a platinum Amex card or a certain status on Delta to get access to these lounges. And I talk about that in my book. Putting yourself where you see yourself, investing to be in certain rooms because you get access to a certain level of people that are in these rooms where you pay a little bit more money for things, right? So I was at the Delta Lounge, and one of my friends, Jamal, was there with Egypt and Cynthia. And he introduced me to them, and I said, oh, it was nice to meet you guys. Leading with the value. What do you guys do? Like, what are you working on for 2020? At that time it was 2023. What are you guys working on for 2023? Like, how can I help you? Both of them said, I want to work with more corporations. I want more corporate speaking engagements. Egypt and Cynthia. At the time, I was a vice president and had a national sponsorship at JP Morgan. And so I said, okay, great. When we get back to Atlanta, because we all live in Atlanta, I'm going to set up a lunch or a dinner for all of us to connect with my friends that are in corporate. So at the dinner, I invited Yandy because I was already friends with her. And then I invited all these women that you see that work at Delta, Coca-Cola. I'm at JP Morgan and the Mercedes-Benz, and we're all executives. So at this dinner, we got to share what we're working on and how to help each other. So like I said, I want to ask them what they're working on so that I could provide value. I followed up within 24 to 48 hours. And then I set up a lunch. This was a dinner for all of us to meet in Atlanta. From this event that I did, it was so successful because the entrepreneurs wanted to learn from corporate executives, and the corporate executives needed entrepreneurs to tell them about our products out in the world because they have huge followings. I said, let me do something bigger. So I launched in the room where the deals are done, which I will get to in a second. But I want to get into, how do you identify your gifts, right? What do you love doing naturally? What do people call you for? What comes easy to you? So these are the ways that you can figure out what products and services you can sell that is a gift to you that you love doing, right? So, sorry, I didn't mean to skip ahead. Sorry about that. But just as we talk about this, start to think about, you know, what is my phone constantly ringing for? What are people what are people always asking me to do? And that I love doing, right? People were always calling my phone, asking me for connections or asking me about what events are coming up. And those things came easy to me. You see, Dr. Eric Thomas called me to ask him to help him get women speakers for his conference. So put yes in chat if you want to make money on your gifts. All right, Renelle, Lamisha. Awesome, awesome. All right, this looks like all of us in here, right? We want to get paid. We want to get paid for our God-given talents. God gave everybody a gift, right? When he knew us before we were even made. So how do we monetize that? Look with the yes, I love Tia with all the S's. I know, right? Like let's figure out how to get paid for the things that we do naturally. All right, so let's get to the next slide. Can two people on here tell me what they're like, what your gift is? Like, what do you think you could possibly sell that somebody's always calling you for? Again, I want to make this interactive. So can two people come off mute and say, my gift is like I know somebody said their gift is crafting or his gift is skincare. Can you tell me what your gift is?
Strategic planning and consulting and helping people plan out their business or project for the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years.
Awesome. Okay. So that's already your business. So you're already getting paid for your gift. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else want to volunteer and say what their gifts are? One more brave person.
I would say I'm pretty good at listening. I'm a good listener. And so people would usually call me, they would usually call me for like my opinions on things.
Okay.
So that's what one of my gifts are, I guess.
Okay, awesome. So between the two of you, it sounds like you have the intellectual property, right? It's not an actual product, but it's the property that you have. And people are calling you, one, to be a listener to them, for you to offer them advice and strategic plan. So when we start to identify our gifts and we start to tell people, right, when someone called me, so again, for the connections, people were always calling me for connections. Now I charge a fee to talk to me. Not just like I'm saying, one of my friends calling me to shoot the breeze. When people have to call me for advice, so many people DM me, oh, can I get a quick call? Somebody called me yesterday and said, oh, my friend is looking to grow in the corporate space. Can they talk to you? I said, sure, they can talk to me, but they have to book time on my calendar, which is on my website, right? And it's a consultation fee because again, they're paying me for my intellectual property. So when people call you now from this day, from October 17th, when they call your phone for help with anything, right? Like if it's somebody that's saying, hey, I need advice on strategic, I think you said partnership or growing a business, or, oh, you're a great listener, so I need advice on this. This is what you say. That's a great idea. I would love to help you. My fee is X, Y, and Z. You determine your price. When I first launched my business, my consultation fee was $250 because I was new. Now it's $1,000. If you want to pick my brain for 30 minutes and you're getting 21 years of JP Morgan, Wall Street experience, corporate executive, an entrepreneur that built a business within less than a year, was able to get Amazon and Puma to sponsor. I made 6 figures in 6 months in my business when I first launched it, right? Like you're getting the tips that I learned when I started doing these things. You're getting how I built the business. Whatever you're calling me on, that's worth $1,000. So I determined that price. Again, when I was new, it was $250, and now it's $1,000 because people constantly want to know, how do you do the corporate pivot? How do you grow your connections? How do you know so many people? Whatever they're asking me for, I would love to help you. Now, I did write in here, 90% of the people will say no, because they're used to calling us for free. And that's okay, right? Because it's okay if you say, oh, my price is $300, and they say, oh no, girl, I can't afford that. That's fine, because you know what? That's the time that you get back. Time is the only thing we can't get back. You get your time back because you would have spent your hours either consulting them or doing something, crafting something for them, whatever it is that your skill is. You get that time back to use for something else to continue to grow your business. But that 10% will say yes. Okay, so just know from today on, when people are calling you for things that you're skilled at, for your gifts, I would love to help you, but my fee is this. You should have a website in place as you grow your business so people can book it, and you could be a legit business where it's like, okay, go to my website and book a consultation fee. But know that you have something of value, you have a gift, and they're calling you for it. It's not something that you just made up. These are things that people call us for. So, all right, before I'm going to the next slide, but I just wanted to show you, this is how you monetize what your gifts are. All right. So next slide. So again, I mentioned that I wrote a book. And so people were always asking me for tips on how to network. In that book, Egypt Sherrod, Cynthia Bailey, Ian D. Smith Harris, Felicia Butterfield, they all wrote quotes on how I helped them grow their network in my book. So again, I have known some pretty high profile people and I've always helped them and led with value. Also, Angela Yee, who I'm interviewing at my next event, wrote the foreword to my book and showed how I got her books and got money in her pocket for a speaking engagement. In my book, I also go over some tips how to network if you're shy, right? Because some people isn't easy for them to just go and talk to people, right? But I give you tips in the book on how to network if you're shy. I talk about breaking bread and breaking barriers. That's so important. There's something about having a meal with people that lets down their hair and kind of tells you like what's really going on with them. I teach Bible study every Tuesday at 6:30 to my friends. We do a Bible study class and we meet at the library. But last week I said, no, this past Tuesday I said, okay, we're gonna go to dinner. Do you know over dinner, people really got into who they were, what they were going through, some of their biggest struggles, triumphs, right? It's something about sharing a meal with people that lets them tell you a little bit more about who they are and what they have going on. And then again, I talk about investing in access, right? Strategic placement matters. Paying a little extra for a VIP ticket, paying a little extra to get into those lounges, right? And I told you the story how I met Egypt Sherrod and Cynthia Bailey, who are now one of my closest friends, like my sisters, from just being in that space and providing value to them. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about on here. And also in the book, I give like different networking gyms. So each chapter has like each chapter has like gyms at the bottom of like, this is what you should be doing to help you get to the next level. All right, so the next thing I want to go over is building your personal brand. When building your personal brand, you want to be known as the go-to person for whatever you're expert in. Remember I said, when you do business with quality, people, it's a free marketing word of mouth. So being known as a go-to person in the industry consistently builds trust and being visible, right? You want to be consistent at whatever it is that you're doing. You want to show up on time and you want to constantly put out good business. When you do a good job, again, that's free marketing. People will tell their friends about you. Networking facts and elevator pitches. You need an elevator pitch in less than 1 minute. People's attention span is less than 60 seconds. That's why as I'm talking to you guys, right, I'm like, tell me who you are in less than 1 minute. Don't ramble. Don't give me this long drawn out story. People want to know, get into the meat and potatoes in 1 minute of who you are. So I would tell you that for me, myself, my 60-second elevator pitch is, I'm the founder and CEO of the Master Connector Agency. We have the resources and the people you need to help grow and scale your business. See how quick that was? Now people, if they're interested, they'll say, well, what do you mean? How can you scale my business? What does that mean, grow? And I can get into that. But my 60-second elevator pitch is, I'm the CEO and founder of this company. We have the resources and tools you need to grow and scale your business. That's it, right? And then again, if they want to know more, we can get into that. But that's how you capture them. You have to make sure that it's impactful and wanting to keeping people saying, okay, what is your business about? These are some facts about networking. 70 to 85% of jobs are filled through networking, right? So people are hiring and working with people who they like and who they trust. 85% of professionals say is vital for success. So when you're in a corporate setting, you want to join those different business resource groups, those employee resource groups, like things that are at the company to help you increase your network and know more people. And I just went over the elevator pitch. Does anybody want to volunteer and give me your 60-second elevator pitch? Again, I want to make this interactive, guys.
I could try. Okay, so because I have two businesses, I'm going to go for the one that I thrive in like right now the most. So I am the CEO and founder of TCP Business Consultancy Firm. We help persons start their business from the beginning to success. That's what I can say. Something like that.
Okay. So we got to get more confident in our business, right? Because you're saying I can try. So to me, it's like, okay, I'm not confident in what I'm saying. So we want to make sure that it's powerful. So say your business again.
Oh, I was saying I was going to try to pitch because you was asking questions like it's just off the cuff. But I was saying, okay, so for me, being introduced, whatever, my name is Tia Miller. I'm the founder and CEO of TCP Business Consultancy Firm. We help persons start their business, entrepreneurs and business at all. So establish, and we help them get to their success or goals, like something like that.
Okay. That the second time was better than the first time. Like I said, the confidence came through the second time. So yes, we can say I am the founder of TPC Success, right? You said that's say that. I'm sorry, maybe this is my connection.
That's fine. It's TCP Business Consultancy Firm.
Okay, yeah. So I'm the founder of this consultancy firm, and we are different because we help early stage entrepreneurs grow and scale their business successfully. You see how clean that was?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. But again, we have ChatGPT nowadays, so you can ask them to say, hey, give me an elevator. This is what my business is. Give me an elevator pitch, because it has to be clear, concise, and clean in less than 60 seconds, so that it could capture the listener's ear. But thank you for trying, Tia. Like, I appreciate that. Anybody else want to try?
Okay. I'm Lamisha, a business midwife, and I help high-performing leaders, especially those in ministry, birth the vision God gave them into sustainable and profitable businesses.
Okay.
But I want to add, but I just got to get it down pat. I just got to keep practicing. But I want to add how, what is included. So, I combine mindset coaching, marketing strategy, and spiritual insight so that clients go from confusion to clarity.
Okay. So I see you're doing it on the spot, right? We have to get those. We have to make it less than 1 minute, or 1 minute exactly. And like I said, the name of your business, when you said you birth, a business midwife, like that's already catchy in itself, because I've never heard of that. So you can just say, I'm Lamisha, I'm a business midwife. I help business owners birth their visions into X, Y, and Z, right? Like take their business from here to there. Something that's short and simple, because if they want to know more, they'll ask you more. Because
Okay.
as you start to continue to say everything that you provide, you might lose them. Just
Okay.
saying, so that elevator pitch needs to be 1 minute, and like boom, like, oh, okay. Like you quote me with saying I'm a business midwife. I never heard of that before. So what is that? Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to ramble and then you lose them and they don't ask you any questions. So like catch them in that 1 minute, and then if they ask more, then you can explain it. Hopefully it's helpful for everybody. But again, that elevator pitch needs to be down packed so that we can draw customers in. Thank you to my two volunteers, Tia and Lamisha. Okay, so on to the next slide. This is what I tell people, just start. So everybody's always asking me, I want to start a business. What do I do? So many people have millions of ideas and never start because they have to feel like it's so perfect before they start. I have this idea. What if it's not this? Just start. When I launched the Master Connector Agency, again, it came from a phone call from one of my friends saying, hey, can you connect me to some high profile women that can speak at my conference? And once they said, we'll pay you, I'm like, oh, this is a business. I just started. I had got my LLC, my EIN, started working on a website, like just starting. And you could do something every single day to help get your business to the next level. Networking isn't optional. It's critical to success strategy, right? As you grow your business, you have to have a network to sell your products to. So again, you want to make sure that one, you're doing good business, but you're meeting people that are interested in what you're buying and selling. So that elevated pitch that we just worked on in the last slide, we're going to use that to continue to intrigue people to buy our products and services. In the first, like I said, in the first year, I started with and my business grew. So when I tell people just start, like you can continue to add on to it as you start your business. So in the first year, I started with I keep skipping ahead. In the first year, I started with events, right? Because, first I got paid for my connection, and then I started with events where I showed you that dinner that I did, and now I do events called In the Room where the deals are done. Then at that, people were asking me to, how do you network? What are some tips? And I wrote a book on how to network. Then I launched a membership. So I have a membership now where people pay me monthly to have access. So remember I told you it was $1,000 for consultation with me? If you join my membership, it's $99 a month. So you actually get me 3 times a month for $99. So in the membership, we bring on an expert every single month to talk to us about every area of business. I needed that because I'm a new business owner. So I needed to know how to structure my business properly. I have someone coming on talking about trademarking, marketing, business funding, getting your credit fixed. I had someone talking about AI, someone talking about public speaking, like every area of business on how to make money. We have a guest come on once a month. And then we do office hours with me on Wednesday. So one Wednesday a month, we get office hours to tell me how your business is going. Do you need help with something? It's just like just checking in on my community. And then on the third call, we do Mindset Mondays. I have a life coach that comes on just to get our mind right, because it all starts within your mind. Also with my membership, you get access to my in-person events. You get 50% off the tickets to the in-person events. And I do one dinner a year because I'm big on breaking bread and breaking barriers. So I treat my members to a high profile dinner at this exclusive place in Atlanta that's a members only club, to give them access to that. And I treat them to dinner on me, just to say thank you for investing in me and my business. So I want to invest back into you. So I put the QR code at the top here. If you guys are interested in the membership, you can scan that, and just so you know, like that's what you would get if you decided to join. Okay, so the next slide is, these are some powerful connections and people that I have met. I don't know if you recognize any of these people, but I feel like everybody knows Michael Jordan. And getting a picture with him is a big deal because he doesn't really take pictures. And I also met the actor Michael B. Jordan. So I met Michael Jordan, the basketball player, and Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan and I are both from Newark, New Jersey, so we're from the same hometown. I also met Robert F. Smith. He's a billionaire he made his money in tech. And then the vice president, the first Black woman vice president, Kamala Harris, and Maxine Waters, U.S. representative. So I just thought it was fun to throw up some of the rooms and the connections that I've made and that I've been in along the way. So this is a call to action, right? So there's 3 ways you can either stay in contact with me or help grow your network. One, you can grab a copy of the book, which is in pink at the top. That's the QR code for my book, which will give you all the networking tips and strategies to help you grow your network, to grow your net worth. The second one is you can join the membership that I just mentioned, where I do, like I said, you get to talk to me 3 times a month. You'll be in community with other business owners. The thing I love about the membership is that we need community more than ever now. And you're in there with new business owners, corporate executives, people from all walks of life. There's somebody in there that's an author, somebody in there that lost their sight to gun violence, and he's a public speaker now. There's a woman that's a multi-millionaire in there that works for the government, works on government contracting. Like, the group is so vast, and they all get something out of it, and we share each other's businesses. So if you have a business, we put it in the group chat and we support. If we have an event, I put it in the group chat, they show up. And then the last one is I do the big events in the room. So you can see the yellow QR code is my next networking event I have here in Atlanta featuring Angela Yee. So I do these events called In the Room, where the deals are done. And I interview a multi-millionaire celebrity that has made it, to give us their career trajectory, how they started from point A all the way to point Z. And the first one I interviewed Egypt Sherrod and Mike Jackson. The second one I interviewed Yandy Smith Harris. The third one I interviewed Dr. Eric Thomas. And this next one I'm interviewing Angela Yee. At these events, there are corporate executives, industry leaders, successful entrepreneurs, influencers. The mayor of Atlanta came to my very first event. The old mayor came and the new mayor came to congratulate me on this. The Tavio, he's the CEO of Revolt, which is a major podcasting station globally. He's been to all 3 of my events. A woman stopped me 2 months ago when I was having lunch with Egypt. Actually, she came over to us and she said, "I know you." I thought she was talking to Egypt because Egypt is a celebrity. She said, "No, I know you." She said, "I came to your event and it changed my life." Y'all, changed my life with some powerful words. I said, "How did my event change your life?" And she said, "I came to your event and I'm working on a $2 million real estate project in Tennessee. And I met a guy at your event that does government contracting, and he's helping me get my project off the ground with the government contracts." I said, "Okay, God, I know I'm walking in my purpose and it's changing people's lives." I had another woman stop me and join my membership community because she said she came to my event, the one that I did with Yandy last November, and it changed her life. She met Yandy and she told Yandy what she's trying to do. And Yandy said, "Move to Atlanta, I'll support you." And she moved to Atlanta from Canada. She moved here from another country, from Canada, opened up a trucking business, and now bought a warehouse. And so these rooms, one, is growing your connection, right? And you never know who you're sitting next to, because the niche that I have in these rooms is I have access to corporate executives. So my last event, Amazon and Puma were the corporate sponsors. They bought 10 of their corporate executives. So you are sitting next to somebody that can potentially give you a job or potentially get your products. This event that I have coming up, Truist is my sponsor. So they are a huge national billion-dollar bank here in the South. They're bringing 10 of their executives, right? So I curated these rooms because I wanted to bring together corporate executives, industry leaders, and successful entrepreneurs to help us grow our network, to grow our net worth. These are the different ways that you can get in contact with me. So one is my website here, themasterconnectionagency.com. This is my Instagram, the Master Connector. So at the Master_Connector. And that's my business Instagram underneath, the masterconnectoragency.com. This is my email. This is very important. You see my email says info@the Master Connector Agency. When I first launched my business, I had a Gmail. When you're doing business with corporations, you have to look as official as you possibly can. Get rid of the Gmail and make sure you have a .com email. I teach that when I talk about the corporate pivot, right? When we're going from corporate to our entrepreneurship, making sure you're setting up a valid email that's a .com, making sure that you set up a address. It's not your house address, because I made a mistake with that too. I set up my home address for my business and people were sending stuff to my house, right? Which was kind of scary. So I had to go and set up a virtual address as well as a virtual phone number. So those are things that I learned that I teach in my corporate pivot class. You can scan that QR code. That's my Instagram. So if you don't want to type it in, but you can scan the QR code to get my Instagram. All right. I said I was gonna give you a bonus on this one about how to get corporate sponsors. So a lot of my friends do events, and when you do events, you don't want to use your own money. You want to use corporate dollars to help make a profit or just to pay for the event itself. In my next class I'm teaching, which is on Monday, 10/27, and I'll start promoting that. No, my next class I'm teaching is this class. So you guys are already getting this class ahead of my members and my friends, but after this class, I'm teaching how to get corporate sponsorships on October 27th, and I'll be promoting that on my Instagram page. But here's the bonus slide that I wanted to give you guys a quick overview if you're looking for corporate sponsors. You need to have a corporate deck. Whenever you're trying to do business with a corporation, you have to have a deck. All corporations operate with a deck, right? Everything we do, especially in-house or corporate, you need to have a PowerPoint deck showing what your values are and your metrics and your KPIs, which are key performance indicators. You need to find target companies and look at their goals and organizations and what they're currently sponsoring, right? So say I want to work with McDonald's. I need to go on their website and see what their goals are and make sure it aligns with what I'm trying to do. If I'm a healthy juice company, I'm not going to work with McDonald's because that's not their brand, right? So making sure you understand what company you're trying to target to get sponsorship dollars from and making sure that you guys align. And then look at who they're already sponsoring and see, and if you have similarities with them so that next time they have a budget, they can sponsor you. You want to search out companies and their events and executive leaders. So when a lot of companies have events, you can go on their website and find out where the next event is and go to that event so that you can be in the room with those executives so that you can start to pitch your product, right? Leave with the value, but then pitch your product. So those are some key high-level overviews on how to get corporate sponsorship. You have to lead with the corporate deck, making sure that your vision and your goals align with what the corporation is, and go online and look at where the company is having their next event so that you can attend. And then this is a survey if you guys want to scan it and fill it out of how you think the class went. But what questions do you have for me? That's the end of my presentation, and I'll stop sharing. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me stop sharing my screen so that I can see you guys in full. And
Okay, so I'll go. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, you can go right after me, Georgia, but I just want to say I'll get Nicole's information and I'll email it to everybody and also put it in the group to make sure you guys have access to all of the things that she was saying in case you missed it.
Okay. Hi, Nicole. So my
Hi.
question was regarding the 60-second elevator pitch.
Mhm.
So would you say that the 60-second elevator pitch is only for certain types of business? Like, for example, let's say I'll use me for example. So I do insurance. I also have a baby store, and I also have a event women empowerment thing that I do. So if I want to do a 60-second pitch, I mean I cannot put all of them in a 60-second pitch. So each company or each individual thing that I do have their own 60-second pitch.
Yep. I think each thing that you do should have its own 60-second pitch because they're different products. An event is different from the baby skincare line and the insurance, right? So it depending on who your target audience is, that's how you pitch them. You can talk about other things if they're interested in the first thing that you're talking about, but I would tailor it to who the audience is, right? If you're at something where it's mostly moms, and you would talk about your baby stuff, right? But if you're at a co-ed event, you would probably talk about your insurance, right? So you just gauge who the target audience is and have the 3 different elevator pitches ready. And then again, as they ask you more questions, you can bring up, oh, well, this is for moms with the babies, but I have a conference coming up for women, right? So you can
Awesome.
play as they give you information and what they're interested in, and throw the other elevator pitches in there.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Hi,
I'm reading the comments
Nichole.
because I didn't see earlier, but thank you. Oh, you guys said this was powerful. I'm listening to people. Okay. Thank you guys for the feedback.
I know you're going to check the comments definitely, but a quick question. So when we just say for instance, when we was to get, if we was to ever not when, not if, but when we get in these corporate centers, or like you say, when you normally host these in the room events per se, right? What if the persons are so exhausted that they don't want to hear anymore, like elevator pitch or anything like that, or whatever, because you feel like you're always getting like dejected? Like, what do you say or do to a person that just feel like they're always getting, like dejected from persons like not wanting to hear anything anymore, like this, because they're like from exhaustion?
Yeah. So 2 quick things. One, again, that's why I said we have to get the elevator pitches down packed, because as we ramble, people stop listening. So I encourage everybody to practice that targeted, impactful 1 minute. Again, ask ChatGPT for help so that it's poignant, so they will listen. Because if I'm saying my company has the resources and tools to scale and grow your business, you're going to want to know what that is, because everybody's trying to grow and scale their business, right? So, but if I'm saying, oh, I have this agency, but oh, hold on, I think I have this. Wait, hold on, what is it? Like, you're going to tune me out. So getting that elevated pitch very crisp and clear within 1 second is going to help you. And secondly, yes, there are going to be people that don't really want to hear what we have to say, right? Like, that's just life. Like, as I said, like, even when you start to put a value on what you're doing for free, 90% of the people are going to say, oh, I can't afford that, or oh, I don't want that. But that 10% will say yes. So focus on the people that are saying yes, right? Like, Tia, don't get caught up in the people that don't want to hear from you. Focus on the people that do. And the people that do, that you grasp their attention, hone in on that and continue to, like I said, make that elevator pitch good and sell them your products, or try to identify what their needs are. One thing that always works when you meet people, what are you working on for 2025? What are your goals? What are you trying to do? Like, what's your biggest pain point in your business right now? You can ask those 3 questions, because people love to talk about themselves and what they're doing. And as they talk, because when somebody here said they're a good listener, as they talk, you listen and take that in, and you figure out how your business can help what they have going on. You're not coming with your sales and your $60, but you're trying to figure out what they have going on, to figure out how your business can go in to help them solve their problems.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add too, because I love that people that are, just like you said, what are their goals? People that have the mindset to make money will never disregard somebody who's trying to help them make more money too.
Facts.
So if that person is like, they're so exhausted that they don't want to do that, then they're probably not the person for you, and that's okay. They probably part of the 90.
Yeah. Focus on that 10% and just do good business with them. I don't know if anybody scanned the code to join the membership or scan the code to do the event. I know there's a lot of people in here from Bahamas, but if you're in America, it might be easier to get a flight. Or if you're in Atlanta, that room on November 6th is so impactful. I just told you how it changed 2 people's lives. There was also 2 nurses that came to my event that met, and now they launched an IV hydration business together, and they joined the membership to figure out how to get the business off the ground, like how to get the business structured properly. So I'm just encouraging you to invest in yourself, be in these rooms. Don't be scared to get the VIP ticket. With the VIP, you get premium seating, you get meet and greet with the talent, and you also get a dinner with them. So I do a dinner for the VIP tickets that's upstairs. Thinking of membership, I'll be in St. Lucia for the first week of November. Okay. Yeah, so the membership is monthly. So, but the November 6th, yeah, you might miss the event, but the membership, you meet with me 3 times a month, with me, my team, and experts. So, and again, it's a community. And I tell people, we need community more than ever now. With how everything is going on crazy in the world, you need to grow your network. That's why I talk about the importance of growing our network, to grow our network, so that when we have these products, we already have relationships with people and they want to support us. Because at the end of the day, people do business with who they like and who they trust. Lamisha, I put my website in the chat.
Yes, I
So
was
yeah,
checking it out, and all of the things looks very good. And I was trying to think of an extra question, because I know that this is special time, so I was trying to find some more words and some more, like, well, what else can I ask? So I mean, if I was to ask anything, because you pretty much answered a lot of the questions that I had thought of anyway. How can I help you? What is there anything I can do?
Look at you taking those networking tips. Offering value. I love it, Lamisha. I gotta put like the reaction of the hand clap in there. She's taking first value tips. So for me is the biggest help that I need right now is getting the word out there about the agency, which is the membership and the event.
Okay.
I've been fortunate enough to go on so many platforms to talk about it, but just getting word of mouth of the value that I'm providing in these rooms, which is where I'm giving people access to corporate executives, industry leaders, and successful entrepreneurs. So if you guys on my Instagram, I have the flyers up. If you want to take it from my Instagram and tag me and post it on your page to say this event is happening, joining the membership is helpful because again, it increases the community of leaders. Right now, I think we're at 18 people in the community. And the thing I love about my community, and I'll just say this because a lot of us focus on the women. I'm a woman, right? But my community is co-ed because the guys need help too. And the guys are in there and they're very proactive. They join all the calls, they participate. One of the guys, I'll give you one example. So this guy, his name is Chris. He found me on Angela Yee's radio show. So I told you guys I was fortunate enough to go on her radio show and talk about my event and what I'm doing. He lost his vision to gun violence. He was a young dad, was in the streets, got shot, lost his vision. So it's a difference between being born blind and losing your vision in your 20s, right? Like that's just a scarier thing. He joined my community. He was very shy and timid. He's from the streets, so he didn't talk much. Now he's at my event. He's going to be going on stage talking about the value of being in the community. He got his credit fixed because we have credit repair on this. He got his credit fixed. He then he was able to get sponsored in my community. So one of the other members of my community sponsored his podcast because again, we support each other's businesses because he has a podcast. The biggest impact of all was he got on the call. He's a public speaker. He said he charges $500 to public speak. I have an expert that comes on that gets ET, who's a six-figure speaker, books. She comes to my talks in my community and she told them, you need to put another comma in that. You shouldn't be charging $500 to do anything. You need to put a comma in that. You need to be charging $5,000. And he said, $5,000? I'm just from the street. Like I don't know. She said 5,000. In August, he got booked. I think it was like $3,500 to get flown out to California. So they paid for his flight and hotel, gave him a $3,500 check. He said, your community increased my confidence. He said, now I tell my story to everybody. He went from $500 speaking gigs to $3,500, and he got flown out to another state that they paid for his room and board and everything. So it's just the value of information and how we support each other in the communities. I talk about him on my website. Like when he has something, one of my members is an author. We promote their books. Like we all just share each other's businesses and continue to promote each other in that space. But going from bad credit, $500 speaking engagements to getting your credit fixed to getting almost $5,000 in total value, flown out to speak in just less than a year because he joined my membership in December. He got booked in August. So in less than a year, those things happened.
Wow.
Thank you, Renelle. Thank you, Avery. Any more questions?
Yeah, that is so awesome. This has really been helpful to me because I feel like I'm like, you know how you like build and build and build, but then nobody knows about it. So you're like the best kept secret. So this is really, really good for me. I had a question about those corporate sponsors. So once you have your deck and everything, how do you get in front of the people that make the decisions? That's
So I'll be teaching a course on that on the 27th, but I can't give all my secrets because that program is $10,000. And I'm just going to be honest because
I get it.
of the value, because you can get one sponsor for 10 grand. But if they join, so what I'm doing is it's 10,000 and one. I'll say this. Sorry. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Earn Your Leisure, but I got them 4 6-figure checks in less than a year from JP Morgan. 4 6-figure checks. For myself, I was able to get Amazon, which is the #1 company in the world, to sponsor my business that was 6 months old. I also got Puma. For this event, I got these are big brands that are sponsoring the Master Connector Agency, something that I just made up from somebody showing me my value last year, right? So I'm an expert in that field. So I do charge $10,000 to show you how to do it, right? Like it's an 8-week accelerator. If you want me to do it all for you, it's $25,000, and people are paying these prices because of the value that you get. If you pay the $10,000, all you need is two $5,000 sponsorships, and you made your money back.
Right.
But I am launching an accelerator program at my event on November 6th, where I'm giving it half off because they invested in themselves to be in the room at my event. So I will be launching an accelerator program. It's an 8-week program where we go through everything to get you a corporate sponsor, which is your deck. We look at your social media, your website, because you have to be prepared for these organizations to look at your stuff to make sure I'm sponsoring somebody that's a well-known, profitable business. If I had a Gmail, they wouldn't even look at me. That's why I dropped that tip in there. Make sure you have a .com for your business. But yeah, so I can't really tell you that unless you're part of the community. But I will say you do need a good deck to even get the conversations going.
Thank you for that. I completely understand.
Mhm.
Completely understand.
Yeah, there's always that fine line between, because it's funny,
Yeah.
I was an open book, and I'm just being transparent with you guys. I was an open book because I love helping my community and sharing information. And because I also was the head of national sponsorships for JP Morgan for the last 5 years. So I was on the inside. So I know what goes down to get a sponsorship, right? And so I was always giving away my intellectual property for free, similar how I was getting people millions of dollars of deals and never got paid. And it wasn't until I was like, you know what, like everybody's getting paid but me, I have to put a price on it. So there's always a fine line between giving away too much free information and not giving away enough, right? And so even when I'm teaching these free classes, I'm teaching a sponsorship class on the 27th if you want to join that. But again, it's high level, but I will be talking about it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Do you guys want to tell me what was the most helpful part in this course? Like, what did you guys find? Like, what was the one piece of advice that you found most valuable?
Every part, especially my pitch.
Okay.
I
Thank you,
agree
T.
with you. I agree with you. Everything was very, very helpful. And it was also, reiterating, especially getting away from the Gmail email that been ringing in my head. You need to get away off that Gmail email. So that everything was really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Georgette. And just start. I think if I say nothing else in the chat, just start. Whatever ideas are in your head, just start. Just start ideating. And the beauty is we have ChatGPT to help us as we start to ideate our businesses, right? But just start. You all are going to do great. You're already investing in yourselves. You're already a part of Avery's amazing community. I love how we led with prayer. God gave me the vision to launch this company last year, and I just you said yes, George, at the email, yeah, and I just went full force. And every day it's a different world working for yourself instead of working for a corporation. I've been on Wall Street for 21 years, so I was used to that corporate secure nice check every 2 weeks. Thank you. But I know God had a bigger calling on my life to help people to share information, especially with me being a VP at one of the #1 banks in the world, like sharing that information out with the community. I do free courses like this one. But again, if we want to get into the weeds of how we actually do things, like the networking thing, you can get my book because all the tips are in the book is $24 on my website. The membership, I told you guys, is $1,000 for me to consult you, but on the membership, it's $99 a month, and you get to talk to me 3 times a month. So it's like whatever works for people, but I have a lot of high profile people calling my phone asking me for advice. I'm like, okay, I would love to help you. This is my price. And I'm telling you guys to do the same thing. Any last questions? I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy you volunteering because I always like to make it interactive so I'm not just talking at you. So thank you to everybody that volunteered and gave their pitches, gave their ideas on what's networking tips that work and don't work. So I'm grateful. And is there any last questions? And again, my website's on here. I think Avery said she's going to send everything out in my Instagram. Thank you, Dynastic. Any last questions? All right. And thank you again, Avery, for giving me the opportunity to speak to your community, and congrats on starting this amazing group.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your willingness again, and even allowing God to use you in this way, because this is free. This is free, and networking is important. Listen, I heard you spoke at the brunch. Of course, we've been inside the group for some time now, but I was like, ooh, let me come and ask you to speak to my group, because I ask anybody that I believe have value once I'm led to come and pour into these ladies. And they are investing their time to be here to learn. Because I told you, it's a lot of people that talk. They want to do all of this for their business, but they will never invest their time. They'll never invest their time to come and learn what they need to learn. And you just don't know what you don't know. And you think because it's free, it's not going to have value. But who all had value tonight? Did everybody get value tonight? No time wasted. Everybody feel like they got something that they can implement and put into their business to get some type of return for this hour spent. Look at that. Great. I'm glad that you all got it. And I honor you. I thank you. I pray that God blesses you and multiplies what you give to us 100 times full. Because I ain't got no money to do it. They don't pay me. I need to start asking y'all, like, y'all need to pay me. I just paid for this website. Y'all need to pay me. I joke. But again, Nichole, thank you so much. I appreciate you. All hearts, minds clear. I'm just gonna pray us out. Again, I want to be respectful and look at that. We right on time. Father God, we thank you. We thank you for Nichole. We thank you for her words, her wisdom. We thank you for her experience that she would have went through to be able to come and pour out into us and pour out into your people, God. I thank you right now that somebody would have been left inspired so that they can move, not just in their minds, but in their actual bodies, in the physical, that they will see fruit, that they will see productivity, that they will not allow the nose to determine their willingness to actually implement what they've learned, that they will be bold, fearless, courageous, that they will go and make movement and shake the earth so that it can bring forward the bountiful blessings that it has for them. We ask that you bless everybody, Father God, bless their business, bless them so that they will be a blessing to everybody else. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Y'all have a great evening. I will see you guys at prayer meeting next week, Friday. Y'all don't forget. And yeah, see y'all in the group. Y'all have a great night.
And I wanted to say really quick, so
Connect.
I'm teaching this class again free on Monday. So if you guys missed something or want to join again for free, I'm teaching it on Monday. You just have to sign up on my Instagram, which I put in the chat. And then I'm teaching a sponsorship class the following Monday for free. So if you guys want to hear this again or hear the sponsorship one, I'll be teaching those two for free on Mondays at 7.
And I'm going to stay inside for a little bit just in case y'all missed the messages. Going to put the messages back in so you can get to her website and get to her Instagram in case y'all don't remember. And again, putting it inside the group. And I know some of you are not inside the group. So you definitely, if you want to connect with our group or you want to connect with Nicole's group, the information is right there. Y'all have a blessed night. I love each and every one of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Nichole.